Nice to see you here. How are you today? Are you full of energy? Yeah, super. So it's great time to work together after working week, after classes. So if you can hear me, can you type plus in the chat box, please? Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Well, the internet connection is great, so that's why I want to introduce myself. So, my name is Irina Moroz. I am an English teacher of Sumy Secondary School number 23. So, I'm very happy to work with learners from any level. And I have been teaching more than 28 years. In my class, I work with a lot of creativity and possibility. Also, I want to start my presentation with the saying. I think that it's super. Being a teacher is not easy, but insanely interesting and very important. So, I am here today to talk to you about the assessment and feedback, particularly formative assessment. So it's exciting, I think, and it is impossible field to work together today. So I have been interested in such topic, and it is great opportunity to know more as learning for many years. And of course, I have prepared for you some classroom tips. So, and of course, it is necessary to say that today is Friday. What can you say about Friday? Why do you like it? So you may switch on the microphone and tell me. Maybe why is Friday a good day for us, my dear colleagues?
It's the end of the week.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, super. So then,
it's the last day in school.
Okay, great. So it
Before
was.
weekend.
Oh, thanks. So Maxim has written he was born on Friday. Perfect. So then, you are. Of course, you are progressive teachers, you know that it is the last day of a working week. So, and of course, it is necessary to say with Friday, the work week is coming to the end, and people can relax, let go to the stress, pressures of work. So that's why unique opportunity to work together in a good atmosphere, my dear colleagues. So, and to begin with, I want to say that we need to say that the topic of today's webinar is assessment and feedback. So it is necessary to say that this can lead to feeling of relief and decrease in a stress level, which can contribute to happier mood. And of course, it is necessary to say that and choose how does your internal energy system work. So it is necessary to choose the number and says us. What can you say about it? What is your mood today? Today is Friday. It is the last day of working week. So I want to hear and switch the microphone, or maybe it is necessary to share in chat. So as for me, I can share energy with others. And what about you? Okay, you need extra energy. We promise you that we give for you it. So then, point 3, I see that planned blackouts, unfortunately. So point 6, that says us need energy too. So unfortunately, nowadays we have a blackout, but Ukrainians are brave and courageous nation. So that's why unique point for us to be in a good mood always. So, and Olga has says us and has chosen numbers 6 and 7. I need extra energy and okay, thank you can share energy with others. Okay, so and the privilege for us to have, and need extra energy. Okay, so, and you want to say that you need really be happy, and of course it is a great opportunity to maybe generate a lot of energy, or sometimes it is necessary to share energy with others. So you want to be progressive teachers as you are. So, and today let's discuss some questions. So the first, assessment of students' progress, implementation of formative assessment, and the methods of students' motivation at different stages of education. So, and of course, we want to say, what is the assessment, my dear colleagues? Share in chat, please. Or maybe switch on the microphone and say. Be active, please. What is it? Assessment.
That's
How many
maybe how
associations do we
that's
have?
maybe how we measure the level of the knowledge of our students in English.
Okay, thank you,
In
Valentina.
different
So,
ways, in different ways. Written.
in different ways. Perfect. Then, so it is necessary to say evaluation. Perfect. Okay, it is actual nowadays. Assessment. Then, thank you, Victoria. Then, are there any volunteers to say yes?
It is not only about the evaluation of the level of knowledge of our students. It's about involvement, about praise, about encouragement, and some other things. How to support them? Something very supportive. Not only how to give the marks.
Okay, thank you. Great and profound answer. Thank you for learning and learning. Learning and, okay, for learning and of learning. Perfect, Victoria. Thank you for answer. So, are there any ideas? So let's see the next slide, and it says us. Just a moment. Okay, so really the term assessment refers to the wide variety of methods and tools that educators use to evaluate, measure, and document the academic readiness and sometimes learning progress, it is actual nowadays, skills or educational needs of students, and you will see the word cloud of the word assessment. It is really rubrics, sometimes goals, then programs, evaluation, sometimes results, and there are a lot of activities that we need to have progress and needs of students. So, and it is necessary to say that we need to express your ideas and say and find the answers to the questions. How does assessment help teachers meet students' need, and what challenges and opportunities do teachers face when assessing students' learning? You know that every child is unique. So that's why assessment helps monitor students' progress and contributes to enforcing the assessment triangle. So the first point, observations, why not? Interpretations of that observation and understanding of that observation. So I want to add that assessment helps us understand why children do what they do and maps out how we can better meet their unique needs. So according to knowledge of assessment, permits schools and educators to make better and more timely decisions about their students. So, beginnings with those questions, or what should we test and how best to test this, and of course, ending with discussions of individual stereotypes. I'm very sorry. So we need to continue. So, and of course, individual steps in this point. So, and today we want to drop your attention according to main types of assessment. You know exactly that it is necessary to say that assessment is divided into some parts, such as formative and summative assessment. So this is an interactive assessment aimed of tracking and dynamic of students' educational process, determining their educational needs and directing their educational process to increase efficiently and taking into account the establishment's results teaching. But on the other hand, summative assessment, this is the correlation of the actual learning outcomes achieved by the students with required expected one's learning outcomes determined by, firstly, the state standard. So, model curriculum according to a certain period of study. So, and it is necessary to think that I have formed an association with formative assessment. And imagine that you are going to visit a restaurant. So, it is necessary to say that you are very hungry and you order a plate of soup. So, who are you? Are you a guest or a chef? If you want to test it, you're a customer and think about how do you access your soup? So, maybe hot, maybe perfect, maybe yummy. So, it's better soup than I have eaten recently. So, what kind of assessment is it? What do you think? So I can help you. It is summative. Perfect, really. Right, summative. Thank you. And it is necessary to say that taste soup as you are a customer. But on the other hand, we need to say a little bit. Let's taste a soup in your as a chef. So it is necessary to say that I cooked this soup. So, as good as you can taste. And you want to add salt, maybe, pepper. You want to add everything for good taste. So, what kind of assessment is it?
Formative.
Formative, right.
For learning.
Okay,
learning.
perfect. Thank you. And it is necessary to say that it is necessary to give us information about formative and summative assessment. So it is necessary to say that what is the difference between formative and summative assessment? Let's see. And from the chat box, I have seen that formative is for learning and summative of the learning. It is quite right. Thank you for answer. But it is necessary to say that, and let's compare. An assessment process that is applied throughout the existing learning process. So we are talking about formative assessment. On the other hand, we say that an assessment method used after the learning process is completed, such as exams, tests, at the end of a unit, or sometimes semester, or the academic year. So, talking about formative, the next point and the next difference, we want to say that it measures the extent to which educational goals are achieved in the short time, in the short term. So, such as a learner's mastery of a concept or understanding of an experiment. So, on the other hand, talking about the summative, we want to say that it measures the degree of the long-term achievements of educational objects. So, such as learner achievements percentage or overall understanding of a course, Talking about the feedback, it is the main part of assessment. It provides feedback on the degree of understanding and effectiveness of the educational methods during the ongoing learning process and then contributes to the development. So, talking about summative, we have mentioned that, and we want to say provides feedbacks on the degree of understanding. And of course, effectiveness of instructional courses and practices in achievement ultimate educational goals in order to develop the learning process in the next phrases. So I want to say that formative assessment look like as a quick and a short procedure. So its application doesn't require much time and effort. Talking about summative, we want to drop your attention according to it is a lengthy process that takes time to prepare and implement. So, and if we are talking about a quick and a short procedure, as I have said, so doesn't require much time and effort. So, and it is necessary to say, and it is actual, and it is coolness activity for it. It is necessary to have feedback given by the educator. And the last point that we need to discuss, it is summative assessment aims to assess the learner's competence. Why? So what is the aim? To understand school courses based on the criteria achieved by the learner. So it is necessary to express your ideas. You need to explain and know that formative assessment is the system with a huge and the number of methods and techniques. You know, a lot of techniques nowadays talking about formative assessment. The purpose of each is just the activity of both the student and the teacher to improve learning results, but it doesn't affect final grades. So, and we want to say that formative assessment has a diagnostic nature. Why? It is used for providing constant feedback in the learning process and enables teachers to improve and adjust their teaching methods and for students to improve their learning. And of course, it is necessary to note that formative assessment strategies are necessary to integrate it into educational process. And you must know that the teacher doesn't evaluate the work of students with points, letters, or words, but provide children with oral communication. So what to change to achieve the expected result. So it is necessary to be honest that it is a format of formative assessment, and it is necessary to say that unique. So So I'm very sorry, and I want to continue. So the power of formative assessment is clarifying and understanding expected results and success criteria, monitoring progress in students' learning, providing feedback, activation of students as a learning resource for each other, and increasing responsibility for one's own learning. So, and you want to know that formative assessment is dynamic and transformative force of education. So what do we need? Of course, touch upon various aspects of the learning of experience. So, and it is necessary to compare formative and summative assessment for understanding, for using some tasks, for identify each of them. And formative assessment is carried out during the educational process. So what do we need and what do you remember? Checks how the training is progressing. Diagnostic. So identifies areas where improvement is needed, and sometimes identifies shortcoming and improves learning and helps students learn from each other. So I'm talking about formative assessment. What can you say about summative assessment? So checks what has been learned, evaluated measures and achievements of a certain level, determines the quality, and of course makes students compete with each other. And by the way, summative assessment is carried out at the end of the educational process. So, talking about strategies and techniques of formative assessment, I want to say that there are 5, in my opinion, and talking about the documents that you know according to NUSH. So, the first strategy and some techniques that necessary to understand it is finding out and understanding the expected results and success criteria. So teachers and students need to clarify, define learning goals and criteria achievements them. What do we need? What are the techniques? Online board Padlet, technique ZXD, so the Ukrainian version, who knows? And it is necessary to translate into English. I know, I want to find out, and I have learned. So, what is abbreviation into your mother tongue? Хочу дізнатися і дізнався. Okay, so the second point, the second strategy is obtaining data that is necessary to understand that the term of educational progress is necessary for checking of formative assessment. So, for example, monitoring process in education. How many techniques of this strategy do you know? As an example of it, Google Forms, learning apps, Kahoot, Mentimeter, class time, Quizlet, there are a lot of techniques in it. So the third point that we need to say and drop the attention. So I'm very sorry. The third point, providing feedback and feedback on educational progress. It is important to use various online tools. For example, those that provide automated feedback. Its main goal is to help the child get a better result. So you will see the same techniques that are necessary to use. Learning apps, class time. So the fourth strategy is to activate students as a learning resource for each other. So there are a lot of techniques. Ask 3 to me, main use results, come back and talk, sometimes the technique as a forum. And the last one, it is necessary to mention that this strategy is formative assessment. It look like as activation of students as responsible for their own not learning. And to implement this strategy, you can ask students to keep diary reflections. So you will see the techniques that we need to use in this strategy. It is the same Mentimeter, Google Blogger, and a lot of techniques. So, but what is your favorite technique of formative assessment in the classroom? Share in chat, or maybe switch on the microphone, my dear colleagues. Favorite. So, okay, Mentimeter, thank you, Alina. So, Google Forms, thank you, Laura. So then, are there any volunteers to say, switch on the microphone, please?
My
Okay.
favorite is Kahoot, as my students love it. I don't know.
Okay, so it is privilege for students, okay. Google Forms, thank you, Olena. All of them, thanks, Oksana. Google Form, also Mentimeter, so it is look like as icing on the cake. So today, perfect. So, are there any, okay, Mentimeter, okay. So, are there any ideas? What is your favorite technique of formative assessment? Okay, Google Forms, Twinkle. Okay, thank you, great. Okay, okay, thank you. So I want to continue. So if you're talking about the theory of observation, it is necessary to have, of course, this necessary apply. So щоденник спостережень. You will see the Ukrainian version, thanks to publication of Ranak, we have great opportunity to have this variant of it. So you will see names your name, and it is necessary to express your ideas according to characteristics of results of each of the students. So that's why unique opportunity to have these apps. So then thanks to classroom games, we have 3 of them. I think that it is a truthful point, and it is necessary to say that 2 truths and a lie. So it is look like an activity. Students tell 2 true things and 1 false thing about their summer in English, as an example, and classmates guess which one is the lie and say, do you believe me? So, and what is the benefit? It is really necessary to say that this is a great icebreaker, and gets everyone involved. So the second classroom game is Mystery Box. So it is unique and creative game. And what can you say about the activity and the variation? You will see, the rule is clear. Prepare a box with the various objects related to summer, for example. So sunglasses, a beach ball, a book. Students take turns picking an object and explaining how it relates to their summer. And of course, it is necessary to have variation. You can also use this as a guessing game where students describe the object. So without naming, of course, and other guess what it is. So, and the third classroom game is digital storytelling. You know that it is the coolest point, storytelling. And what is the activity? If technology permits, let the students create a short digital story or sometimes slideshow about their summer using photos, videos, and captions in English. So, and sharing, you want to know that the first step and the main students can present their digital stories to their class and combining visual and verbal storytelling. So, and necessary to say now, you are progressive and creative teachers, my dear colleagues. So thanks to this ability, we have to compare, to complete the table and compare, of course, it. So you will see the table. Your task will be to complete it with the aim of summative and formative assessment, who evaluates, what evaluates, and it is evaluated. So are there any ideas of it? Talking about summative and formative. So what is the aim of two assessments? Are there any ideas of it?
To show students their progress
Okay.
and to encourage them to see their progress and to see and to show them their progress.
Okay, to see and show them. Perfect. So you are talking about what kind of assessment?
Probably formative.
Formative. Thank you. So then, are there any ideas? You want to share in chat or maybe switch on the microphone?
It is often interesting for their parents to know the real, their real level of knowledge of their beloved children, and a formative kind of assessment is the best here.
Okay, perfect. And it looked like as optimization of educational process. Okay, thank you. And sometimes it is the development of students' personality. Perfect, thank you. And who evaluates? Summative and formative assessment.
Informative, usually a teacher does, and in summative, it could be a self-evaluation, and some students could evaluate it. No?
So, but you want to say vice versa. So vice
Yes.
versa, who evaluates summative? So it is a role for teacher, and
Yeah.
according to formative assessment, it is look like as a teacher too, but self-assessment and mutual assessment. Okay, great, thank you. What evaluates? Summative assessment, if we're talking about it. So we see, okay, summative teacher, formative peers, right? And students themselves. Thank you, Elena. So to eliminate their growing points, thank you, Victoria, quite right. So according to Lara's variant, the results. Okay, so thank you, great. Okay, who wants to say? So it is necessary to add that who evaluates, we have mentioned, what evaluates according to summative assessment, it is knowledge. And according to formative assessment, you want to say that skills, abilities, competencies, nowadays, you know how many competencies are there? You know? Okay, 11, perfect. Thank you. So, thank you. And the last one, we want to say that it is evaluated. So, are there any ideas?
A level of knowledge.
A level of knowledge.
On the
Then,
subject.
Valentina, thank you.
On the subject.
Okay, so, and it is necessary to see the table. So let's check up. Wow, it is necessary to say the ha 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 ha. I'm very sorry, it is the answers to the next. Ой, чуй, but just a moment. I'm very sorry. Thank you. Okay, so I'm very sorry for this activity, and it is necessary to check up receiving a report on the result of training and their ranking. And of course, talking about formative assessment, I want to say that optimization of educational process for development of the students' personality. Quite right that we have said that who evaluates? Teacher, self-assessment, and mutual assessment, and the teacher. And we need to express your ideas what evaluates. So in summative assessment is knowledge, but informative assessment, you want to express and say that skills, abilities, and 11 competencies. Perfect. And it is evaluated learning outcome and learning process. So we want to continue, and I want to ask you and give us information. It is compared. So let's compare summative assessment and formative. We want to continue. It is compared. With whom? Maybe with what? Valentina, you're welcome.
I think a level of knowledge or the progress of the students which they had yesterday and today, for example, could be compared, but not the students
Okay.
and their behavior in the whole classroom, in the class.
Okay, so let's see information from the chat box, the process and skills of students, thank you, and the achievements of them. So what is the priority, my dear colleagues? Summative and formative assessment. Summative assessment, what can you say about it? So priority really assessment and formative assessment presents us so skills. So then, and motivation. Are there any ideas of motivation nowadays in summative assessment and formative assessment? Are there any ideas? Okay, so some process of learning. Okay, so it is the priority, but motivation, what can you say about it?
There are a lot of different ways how to motivate the students, but it is not so easy to motivate the students which or who
Who wants to increase maybe?
yes,
Increase motivation. So we're talking about formative
who have
assessment.
everything they have in their lives, and it is not so easy to motivate such students. But
Okay.
if you praise
Okay,
them,
so it is
if
really
you
true.
give them motivational marks, if you allow them to to discuss something they are interested in a lot of different ways, they can be motivated. And if they see the level of their classmate who is perfect in English, they also want to be similar to him or her. A lot of different motivations, types of
A
motivation.
lot of, okay. Thank you. You are very active, Valentina, today. Thank you. So, and talking about motivation in summative, I want to draw your attention according to degree decreases. So, up and down suggest, and criteria. So according to summative, we want to say that not clear, and the formative assessment is clear, and the type of interaction in the classroom. So talking about summative types, thank you, Lara. Types, summative, the results of the activity, marks, okay, and formative, the forms of the activity. Perfect, thank you. So thanks to the answer from Lara, we have say that the process and skills of students, okay. So, and I want to say that you are very clever and smart teachers and progressive. So let's check up. It is compared with other students' achievements, yeah, with students' previous achievements, as the Valentina has said, priority. So talking about summative assessment, it is assessments at all, priority for formative assessment, skills, type of interaction. We have understood that competition, race to the top. So, and in formative assessment, there is cooperation, so co-creation, and motivation. We want to say and understand and remember. In summative assessment is decreases, and motivation in formative assessment, it is increases. And according to criteria, not clear and clear. Okay, so and necessary to say that we need to go to self-assessment and peer assessment. We need to remember that talk to students and write down clear criteria for task evaluation. And the purpose of self-assessment is for student to realize their strengths, his strengths as a student, identify direction for further development, and also gained confidence in his capability. So, thanks to the book by Sylvia Wilston and Paul Shipton, it is the textbook for the seventh form of secondary schools. We have a lot tasks, and brilliant tasks, I want to say, thanks to the assessment or formative assessment. So you will see some tasks as an example that you want to see on the screen. Sometimes it is the task for pair work, work with a partner, ask and answer the questions. So you will see the brilliant idea of spoken English. What do this expression means? How do you say them in your own language? And you will see the examples of the replics. So how do you think the person feels about his future? What do you think in careers advice will be? So thanks to this book, we have great opportunity and advantages to use with this book. So it is the example of it. So I want to say that reading aspects of questionnaire, right answers that are true for you. As an example of this exercise, I want to say that imagine your future life. So do you want to go to university? Why not? At what age would you like to get a job? So, and after that, this task is divided into two parts, such as reading and over to you. What does it mean? Work with a partner too. So self-assessment or peer assessment. Ask and answer the questions. And of course, it is necessary to say that this is an example from a textbook by the seventh form, as I have said recently. So sometimes it is getting ready to speak, answer and answer the questions, what notes that are true for you. So then I want to say that you see the effective methods of assessing students' progress. So you will see the tip of learning to learn, improving your listening skills as an example. So you may use page 15. I have this book and I have the book for my class. So that's why I want to open it and I want to read it with illustrations. So work with the partner too and listen to the sounds and what was John doing, what happened after that, and complete the table. So it is necessary to say that it is a pair work. So after that, the children write sentences about this person. So after that, the next point of this activity, get ready to speak. So, and you are going to tell a joke. What do they mean? So it is necessary to say that read joke about the dangerous bear, look at page and read the joke about the dangerous dog. And after that, group work, students work in group, practice reading your joke together. And after that, it is necessary to say step-by-step exercise, work with a partner from the other group, so, and tell your joke to your partner. So what joke is funny? Have a class vote. And after that, think a joke you know in your own language. Can you tell it in English? Tell it to a partner. So, and you will see improving your listening skills as the table you will see. So try these things to help you listening. What do you need? What are the tips? Before you listen, think about the topic and what you might hear. The second point is read the questions you need to answer. They will give you an idea of what to expect. So while you listen, you stay relaxed. Don't panic if you hear a word or you don't know. So keep listening for information you need. So you want to drop the picture and put the necessary aspects and some points into the shelves. Always listen again. You will understand more each time. So it is effective methods, in my opinion, of accessing students' progress. So after that, I want to say that the topic of this discussion and Ukrainian sports people. So it is the example of today's sportsmen, and it is necessary to say that learning to learn, improving your reading skills, and try to maybe try to repeat, revise, and make a list of improving reading skills. What is it? Try these things before you read a text in detail. Look at the title and picture, so you will see colorful pictures in it. Read the first and last sentences to understand the topic. So read the beginning of each paragraph to get an idea of the structure of main points, and read the questions for the text, and so that you know what they are looking for. And the last one of tips for reading read the text for the first time quickly to get the general idea of it, and you don't worry about unknown words. So just a moment. So the next, we want to present to you some formative assessment in English lessons thanks to publication of Ranak. You will see smoothies, you will see my success, PMI, you know, self-reflection. So if we are talking about smoothies, it is creative part of formative assessment. So what do we need? create your own smoothie by putting the ingredients you received during the lesson into a glass. So it is the creative point of formative assessment, in my opinion, and children like it best of all. So the next formative assessment, the example of it, my successes. So you will see this activity, write down your successes, onto the post in notes below. So children like it too, and do with great pleasure. So PMI, so what does it mean? Plus, minus, and improve. So you will see star rating, and sometimes how do you feel about the results. So you will see the emoji. Then formative assessment, we want to continue. It is the technique 60 seconds, you know, and you use it obviously. So students have 1 minute to write down everything they know about the certain concept on the topic, and students can record phrases, words, ideas, details, or sometimes examples. So the stars, do you like this form of formative assessment, my dear colleagues? So light the stars and write inside the stars for what can you thank yourself and your classmates after the lesson. So traffic light task. So and 551. So it is the activity of summarizing the lesson in 5 sentences. So the first part of it right here. Reduce it to 5 words, and it is necessary to say that shorten to 1 word. So the tree assessment, so let's climb a tree. It is unique idea of assessment. So thanks to the publication of Ranak, and talking about the feedback, so you want to say that in conclusion, and we need a feedback too. So it is look like as an aim of awareness of the travel path, and collecting into a common treasury what is realized, considered, understood by everyone. Its goal is that the student doesn't just leave the lesson with a fixed result, but builds a meaningful chain, compares the methods and methods used by others with his own. So thanks to expressions for giving positive feedback, we need to grade points for children, such as wow, it's great, great job, a great idea, excellent work. So bravo, you are star. So, and talking about the mood, we need to positive mood after these phrases, of course, or sometimes you are doing a great work, you are on point. So, and the next idea, exit ticket. So you will see, and you will use it, my dear colleague. So tickets for exit. Of course, it is a written or sometimes oral task with questions about the content of the lesson that is teacher gives at the end of the lesson. And why? What is the matter? To assess the progress of students after each lesson. So it is necessary to say that 3-minute pause, so formative assessment, and it is clear to understand that the teacher gives the student a pause, which gives them the opportunity to think over the concepts, ideas, material, knowledge, sometimes experience, and also to decide on unclear points. And what are the reaction of the students? So you want to say that I have changed my attitude towards, I learned more about, I was surprised that I felt or sometimes treated to. So it is brief argument to have this opportunity to have this idea. So, and of course, we want to add that internal feedback based on session results. You know, this method of feedback, so like as sandwich method. It is method for giving constructive feedback, can ensure the other person remains motivated and the whole situation as a positive experience. Such a kind of feedback lessens then the impact of criticism and allows the person receiving feedback to be more receptive and open. Don't forget to be specific. So positive, encouraging while giving you feedback. How does your sandwich taste? So shake your recipe in the comments. Switch on the microphone or maybe share your ideas into the chat box. So, who wants to say? My dear colleague, you're very active today, so that's why switch on the microphone and say. Share the ideas into the chat box. Okay. So what can you say about it? Constructive feedback. So I want to present you. So I see. Thanks to sandwiches taste is delicious. Thank you, Maxim. Delicious, Victoria. Okay. The sandwich is savory, but okay, mouth watering at the same time. Thank you. It is cognitive, tasty. And I want to add that maybe yummy. Okay, okay, thank you, and modern. So, thank you, my dear colleagues. Yeah, your ideas are very fruitful. So then we want to continue. And it is necessary to say that the next feedback technique, rows on and but. So you know this technique, but it is necessary to say a few words about it. So what does it mean rose flower? What does it mean sown and bud? What is the technique? A teacher can use this technique to highlight success, outline new idea, and address possible difficulties and issues that students need help with. So, according to a rose flower, I mean that something good that happened during the lesson. So it is positive. I want to say that super, wow, amazing, so marvelous. According to Bud, we want to say that something that the student expects or in which he or she sees potential for the future. And talking about soon, a challenge, so or something that the students didn't do well. So then I want to present you the next feedback technique, magic box, magic bag, the another version of it, and it is necessary to use it now. So put in this magic bag everything you need to successfully work on the topic of formative assessment. What do we need to take with you for successful work with students? So, switch on the microphone or maybe share the ideas into the chat box. Imagine that is necessary to be creative. So there are a lot of techniques of feedback now. So who wants to say? Maybe the module of formative assessment. Okay, I see. Interesting ideas. Okay, thank you, Victoria. Then be active, theoretical material. Okay, thank you. Then, are there any ideas? What do we need? What do you need to take with you? Games. Thank you. Thank you, Victoria.
Can I say,
Yeah.
thank you very much for sharing all these amazing techniques. Some of them I have already used, but some of them are completely new for me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much
Thank
for your comment. Okay.
thank you for
Games.
sharing.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So, then, if we are competent in it, you know, sharing learning goals, effective questioning, self and peer assessment, so you will be very great teachers all over the world. And you know, effective feedback. So that's why feedback is an enjoying activity of students. So, and the teacher allows to improve the educational process, focusing on the personality of each student. And of course, as long as the teacher asks himself the questions, he develops. As soon as he begins to be satisfied with what he has achieved, his professional growth stopped. So it is necessary to say that you want to be progressive, you want to be the cleverest teachers. So that's why we want to say that what is the prediction in future? So you want to know that every mind is clear. So, and every word is necessary to say that predictions are very necessary for us. So, because we live in Ukraine, so we are brave, courageous women and men. So that's why your task will be to choose the necessary number that you like, from 1 to 9. So, share into the 8. Okay. Thank you, Olha. Then, switch on the microphone and say only the number 7. Thank you. Thank you, Lara. Let's check. What are the predictions? 3. Thank you, Maxim. So, 5. Thank you, Elena, Andrei. Let's see, and let's listen to the prediction. So, number 1 without number, but maybe it is the actual nowadays to win a lottery. So, number 2, travel a lot. So number 3, I mean that Maxim has chosen this number, and buy a new mobile phone. So we want to congratulate you, Maxim, in future. So then point 4, be rich. Number 5, be lucky. So number 6, be happy. So number 7, earn a lot of money, my dear colleagues. So, and the lucky number, I want to say that 7. Number 8, rest with your family at the seaside in this summer. And number 9 symbolizes travel around the world. So I want to say that these wishes will come true soon after the victory, my dear colleagues. So, and the last one, I want to say that, okay. So, I want to say that modern teacher trying to be in leads of the competition must always perfectly master pedagogical and the innovative news to work fruitful of yourself and to be able to submit your pedagogical achievements in the format of modern competitive requirements. And thank you very much for attention, my dear colleagues. Thank you. And I want to finish my presentation and today's session with Ukrainian words. So really we want to the victory. And I want to say that плани наші на майбутнє. Але майбутнє яке? Да ось воно вже незабаром буде. Тобто що ми? Мої плани – перемога. Пити каву, телефонувати, подорожувати, оберігати, сміятися, кохати, гуляти і обіймати. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you victory. Of course, victory. So, happiness, joy, creativity, good luck, health, and I wish you all the best. So thank you very much, my dear colleagues. Thank you for the participation. Thank you that in this time and on Friday, you have chosen the time to be there. So are there any questions?
Thank you for your presentation and for very useful material that was given to us, and it was really interesting from the first minute to the end. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you. So I want to say that our session was end, and I wish you good luck. Have a nice, calm atmosphere. Have a nice, calm evening, and the session is over, and bye-bye.